Hi everyone, thanks for watching The Tattooed Psychic. I appreciate you so much for doing that. I want to talk to you today about some things I've learned this week with this moon and with my own healing journey. As you know, I am on my own healing journey, recovering from years of trauma. And here's what happened is I about a year ago, I was so sick of my life. I had a place to live and everything, but I was really sick of how I felt about my life and all the trauma that had happened to me. And I was just holding it in and just trying to survive all the time. I was complete survival mode and not happy at all in life. Like, you had just sick of people treating me like shit. Just sick of it all. I had given up on spirit a lot, and I just was at what I call the walking dead, right? We're just zombies. Where we're alive, we're breathing, but we're just not feeling anything. We're numb. I was in a numb state of existence. And I didn't enjoy that place. I was so sick of feeling that way that I finally just said, what the hell do I do? What do I do to get out of this? And spirit will show you things, right? They'll show you things in your life that you need, or they'll throw a video in front of you, or the universe will go, what do you need to heal? And if you don't know, they'll help you figure it out, you know what I mean? And I came across I wanted to get deep into what was going on. I believe in the science of energy and our bodies and cells and DNA. And I wanted to get to the bottom of, I had done all these, okay, here's the thing. I have done all these soul retrievals, all these journeys to heal the soul and retreats, but nothing really worked in the end, It put Band-Aids on it for sure, absolutely, but my trauma was so deep in me that I had to get to the cells and the subconscious mind. And I knew that, I knew that it was deeper than just saying I was healed. I knew it was deeper because it was controlling my life. And I had no control over it. I was letting this energy control my life. And I call it the walking dead, where it's just you're numb. So much shit has happened to you. You're just tired and you just exist. There's no dreams anymore. There's no hope or joy, right? And your friends have let you down. Do you know how many people I thought were my friends, and they've just disappointed me time and time again? And maybe I've disappointed them, but they've never told me, And to me, life's about learning from each other and having those experiences, and not harming each other. I've had some women do some really messed up shit to me. People I thought were my friends, people I helped, people who I went to their work and helped their workers, become better healers and stuff, and then they stab me in the back. And that hurts. You know what I mean? As a person, as a woman, as a healer, and everyone thinks I'm so tough, right? Because I'm blunt. I speak my truth. I am covered in tattoos, but I'm one of the kindest, softest hearted people you ever meet. I cry all the time. Ask anyone who hangs out with me. I'm a very sensitive person because I'm a real healer. Real healers are ultra sensitive in this world. And we often shut down because people just use us and toss us like garbage. And it's shameful. It's shameful on them, right? And that's where I had to get, is realize that it wasn't me, right? I did nothing wrong by flying to San Francisco and helping these people. I did nothing wrong in doing that. My intent was to create community. I've always just wanted community. I've never fit into any tribe or any social circle. It's just, I guess, not who I am. And some of us are like that. We're like lone wolves. We're just loners. But I do support other healers and dreams, and I always have. You can look at my track record. I will try to pump you up if I believe in you, but I don't get the same from other people. And in this journey of healing, you have to look at that. And when we're doing the cellular work and the subconscious, you really have to take responsibility for your actions, which I have, which is also very humbling. But you also have to realize the actions towards others, towards you, and what you're allowing in your life, and not to allow it anymore. If you want success, you have to hang out with successful people who support you. And if that's not your circle of friends, get out, because you're never going to grow, right? We have to grow. We have to keep growing. And we have to keep realizing that, yeah, some people are going to disappoint us. Some people are not going to treat us how we deserve to be treated. But then the more you do your cellular work and the more you rise your energy above all of that, the more that doesn't even come to you. And when you see it, you just kind of laugh at it and you don't even give it your energy. I would never do what I did in the past to help people again. I would never do that again. If you want my help, we're going to have a big discussion before that happens. Because my time is valuable and who I am is valuable. My knowledge with spirit is valuable. I've been doing this work for 35 years. I know a lot of stuff. I know a lot of rituals. I know how to do many, many, many things. How to contact people, how to use this. And I'm not bragging, I'm just saying my knowledge is valuable. And what I find anymore is I'm seeking those people. And if you watch the people I have on my show that I've interviewed, I value those people because their story is so interesting to me, and they share things. Doug Blake is one of the most interesting men I've ever talked to. He's so knowledgeable on so many things that my brain doesn't go to, you know what I mean, but is interested in. And he's a great person to learn from, and I like having discussions. I enjoyed my interview with him in discussions. And Ross Allison, who is one of my most favorite spiritualists of all time, and I don't know if he'd call himself a spiritualist, but a ghost hunter, whatever you want to call it. I call it ghost exploring. I don't like the word hunting ghosts, that's intense. But and his excitement of the discovery of my mind is blank right now. Spirit's drawing me somewhere. Sorry, I'm so sorry this happens sometimes. Yes, thank you, Spirit. And even Aliana is saying, it's important for people to understand that your life, thank you, Spirit, that your life doesn't change until you change the people in your life and change yourself, right? And sometimes it hurts. It's a birthing process, It's painful. And when I look back at somehow, and I lost track of Ross Allison, I'm sorry, but watch the interviews. They're great. They're great. Go back on my YouTube channel and check them out. I love those people, and I love the uniqueness of them all. Anyway, what's important to know, I'm sorry I got so sidetracked. This happens to me. It does. I'm in like 2 different realms sometimes. Sometimes I'm in 3 or 4 different realms. But thank you, Spirit. But Spirit really has this message, and that is that it's important to know the people in your life and who they are. And I worked with my medicine woman this week, is the whole point of this video. And she was really working with me on showing me how much value I have actually in life. And I get a little emotional about it because I've never really felt that in my life. I grew up in foster homes. My mother would tell me, get drunk and tell me I was a piece of shit. She abandoned us when I was in kindergarten. It was, and nobody really gave a fuck about me, I'll be honest. I'll be totally honest. My grandmother did, and I think that's the way I am, why I'm so strong, because she would tell me to be strong, my grandmother. But I didn't get her consistently in my life. But I got her enough to save my life, if that makes sense. That woman saved my life. And made me feel loved as a child, which I never felt ever from anybody else, honestly, except my own kids. And I feel like this, that when we change, our world around us is going to change. And I think that what I found happening to me this week, and I was having a discussion with my dear friend Astrid about it, I said, I find myself becoming really snarky, angry this week. Like, what? Sorry, my scarf fell back there. What is going on? What is happening? Why are people so ignorant? Blah, 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 blah. And just on this negative vibe. And then I woke up yesterday morning at about 3 in the morning. It was actually 3:36, I believe. And I woke up at 3:36 a.m. and at the foot of my bed was this very tall, dark spirit. Like, it was cloaked. I couldn't, like, if you ever seen the hermit card, sometimes the cloak. And I was a little afraid. And then all of a sudden I was like, what is this? What are you here for? You know, I don't want the darkness to take me over again. Did I fail at this journey I've invested in for 9 months? What is this? And it was the old self. And so it was like my old self, I could see it in form. You know what I mean? That darkness, that heaviness. And then all of a sudden, my spirit guide Aliana comes in, and she's just pure light. Aliana is pure light, like a white light being, right? And I saw the light and the dark standing at the foot of my bed. And she said, this is you. Right? And she said, this is you. But you know what? And she put her energy over to the darkness and pushed it into like a light tunnel and said, but now we're going to focus on the light. We're putting this to rest, this dark spirit. And this heavy spirit, it wasn't evil. I mean, I tell you this, it wasn't evil. It was just sad, heavy, dark energy. And it was me. It was so fascinating to witness, right? And then this morning I wake up and I feel so energized and last night I had let me backtrack. I had a session with my medicine woman last night, and she made me put a list of people I thought were my friends or people I cherish in my life, right? And then she just started knocking them off. Like, no, this isn't who you are. They don't cherish you the same way. And that's very humbling. But when she explained it all to me, it made sense. So when I did this cellular work and the subconscious mind work and really focusing and doing the meditations and all these 5-6 hours a day of reprogramming for months and months on end, I realized last night and this week that even though I have a dark side, which we all do, a dark side meaning not evil, but maybe just irritated sometimes or just frustrated or sad or depressed. And I even saw myself getting depressed for the first time in months this week, and I was like, what is going on? Why am I getting depressed? You know, I thought I did this work, and really it was like the birthing process of getting rid of that dark energy. It was like, we're just going to say goodbye. We're going to bring it to the surface one more time so you can see and identify it, because part of the healing trauma is learning to identify your emotion to certain things. And I identified it and said, what is going on? I don't want this energy here. Did I fail? And all of a sudden it was explained, you didn't fail. We're just removing it from your life. We wanted you to see it in form. And I will tell you that when I looked at my sadness and my hermitness and my, oh man, like I said, I wasn't afraid of this energy, but I was overwhelmed by it. And I just can't get it out of my head. I'm getting emotional about it. I told you I'm a sensitive person. I know everyone thinks I'm a badass, but I'm not really. I mean, I guess I am, but I'm not. I have the best intentions for people. And I think that we all, sorry, I get emotional. But I think that we all want love, right? I know we all want love. That's what it's all about. And my whole life, I've been looking for that love, right? On the outside. Like looking for approval from other healers and all of this. And I'm going to tell you, it just never happened. And maybe it did. And I just, you know, my friend told me, Faye, you have so many people who love you. And you could have 500 people who love you. And one person do something mean to you. And you go down. and it's true, because I just can't believe people would treat me that way, and I get sad about it. And so when I looked at that darkness, I said, no wonder I was feeling that way. No wonder I was so dark and over, just protecting myself, because so many people had done me wrong. And I know out there in this world, in this universe, even if there's only 2 people watching this video, I know you feel the same way. The world sometimes does us wrong. People, not all healers have the best intention. They call themselves healers because it's a profitable business. It's a status. But they're not doing the work correctly. You can't do the work correctly until you do the work on yourself. And that's why I've retreated for so many years of not going out there and being so public, because I wasn't healed. So how can I do the best work I can until I reach that moment? And so if you are a healer and you're suffering from trauma, or I know you've had a hard life because you're a healer. Do you know what I mean? Real healers, Spirit has taught me to have the hardest freaking lives. We just do. We're abused, we're neglected, we're just all these things. And I'll tell you why. It is so that when we get a client or somebody in front of us who needs our help, we understand it. I can't understand someone's childhood abuse story if I didn't have childhood abuse. Because I can go, oh, fuck, I know that feeling. I know where they're at. You understand what I'm saying? And so when I had this journey this week, it was amazing to me, because I'm actually going to delete some of the videos I made on YouTube because I was not in the state of mind I wanted to be in. I felt forced to make the videos. I was like, oh, maybe I'm not feeling well because I haven't been dedicated to my spiritual channel on YouTube, and I just haven't. And Spirit goes, no, you just aren't ready. So you forced yourself, and the old self was guilt tripping. I guilt tripped myself that I failed Spirit, that all this shit was going through my head, and they said, man, the old self, and then they brought the old self into a manifestation, into existence that I could see, and I was like, holy shit, I don't want to be that anymore. I want to be the light with Aliana. I like Aliana's energy, the love and the light, and so it's been a journey, man. It has been a journey. And so now I feel that since that part of my journey is over, and I got to see my self-saboteur and how I have acted because of that, and I haven't been always nice to people, and I'm ashamed of some of the things I've done, but I can't live in regret anymore. I just can't, and I won't. And I won't let people in my life who make me feel shitty because of my past. The past is the past, and that's where it belongs. And that's why I always keep growing and always want to see the future. Because I saw my past, and it was a tall, sad, dark energy that was just existing, and it was not something I want to be anymore. And if you're in that spot, look at me. Can you see me? You can get out of it. I did. It took me a long fucking time. I'm almost 60 years old. Can you believe it? I know I look great. I can't help it. It's my genes. My grandmother was gorgeous. My mother's gorgeous. So my sister's gorgeous. My nieces are gorgeous. My cousins are knockouts. So yeah, we just got good genes. Anyway, but yeah. And I had to heal the mother thing. I have a weird relationship with my mother. I don't have a relationship with my mother, and that's why it's so weird. My mother never gave me a lot of love, and I think it was because she didn't want me. I was probably an accident. I know I was, and I think my mom didn't know how to be a mom because of her own childhood issues that she had. She was in prison camps in World War II, for God's sakes. She saw horrific things. So as an adult, like you'll hear me say this a million times on my channel, as an adult, I understand my mother, but as a child, I did not. Okay, so I was hurt. I just wanted my mother to love me, because to me, my mother, when I looked at her, she used to dress up, you guys, with wigs and lipstick and beautiful clothes and go out drinking and stuff. And I just thought she was the most beautiful woman. And I just wanted her love. And I never got it. I got it for, I think we tried to have a relationship at one point when I was pregnant with my daughter 25 years ago. But it just doesn't work. Because we can't get real with things. And one thing I had to accept about my family, and some of my family members are going to hate me saying this, but we don't really talk anyway, so we just don't talk. Right? We don't, for whatever reason, we have pods in our family. And in my pod, I don't have a lot. And that's okay. And my son, you know what I thought about it? My son is literally, I'm the only freaking family he really has that he sees consistently, and that's sad, you know, but it's okay, you know, because I still love them, and when I do get to see them, I enjoy it and I have a good time, and that's. And part of growing and healing is accepting the things in your life and understanding them. I'm not angry about it. It's just the way my family is. It's just the way it is. There's a lot of open wounds, and we'll just leave it at that. And I know some of you have a family like that too. And you can't get angry about it. You know? I don't know what my siblings are doing or anything, so I can't really talk to you about the kind of people they are, but I can tell you that my Uncle Lukey and my Aunt Jen are some of the best people I ever met in my life, and I love them, and I wish I could see them more, but my uncle is retiring, and I'm hoping to at least get to have lunch with him once a month or once every couple months. You know, he's like a brother to me, and his family is nothing but good to me. And but they're busy, you know. Everyone's so busy. And one thing I learned in this healing journey is that time is important. Spending time with people is so important, and I think that's why I try to do it so much. And then I reached a point where I just gave up trying to do it, and that's where, you know, you might look at yourself and go, wow, how come nobody really wants to spend time with me? And I'm, you know, but it's not me. It's just everyone's busy, Faye. You know, why do you know, self-sabotage so much? And yeah. But to me, you can make time, right? If I'm going to make time, why can't you make time? So that's how I feel. But I don't live in that state of mind where I have to guilt trip myself anymore. It was so interesting to me to see that image of the old self. And I'll just never forget it. Anyway, that being said, I know some of you have families that don't talk a lot, but you have big love for them, but you just don't connect. That doesn't mean that they don't love you, because I know that my uncle and his family loves me. I know they do. But, I know they do. I don't know about my mother and siblings, but I know that I know they do. Because they've opened their hearts to me and cared about me. I just don't think a lot of people understand me, and that's okay. And I had to learn that too. And some of you feel that way, right? I know you do. I know that some of you feel like, wow, I don't fit in here. Nobody understands me. And trust me, it's okay. Some of us have these weird life paths that go crazy directions, right? They go into directions that most people would never have the bravery to go in, right? It's hard standing alone, right? It's hard being a little girl, being molested and beaten, and having no one give a fuck about you, and you cry yourself to sleep at night and pray to God to die. I remember doing that at 5, 6, 7 years old, praying to God to kill me so I didn't have to live like that anymore. That takes a brave fucking soul. And so if you had to do that and you survived that like I did, then pat yourself on the back, because you are a warrior, and you might not fit into everybody's life because not everybody had to live through that. Do you understand me? Not everyone has lived through being abandoned, raped, beaten, and treated like garbage. And if you have, I am sorry that happened to you. And I'm sorry it happened to me. We didn't deserve that. We didn't deserve that at all. And those people who hurt you and hurt me, shame on them. And they will pay the price in the end. They always do. You don't hurt people like us and think you're going to get away with it spiritually in the karmic laws of the universe. I want to tell you a story really quick to show you how the universe works. And this happened 35 years ago when I had my son. He was in a stroller. I was with my sister at Kmart. It was Christmas time. I ran into my molester, rapist, abuser at the store with his wife, and he had a voice box now. He couldn't speak, and I was in shock. I had my son in my stroller, and I couldn't believe I saw them, right? It was shocking, and I was speechless. But as I exited that store, a voice came to me, my spirit guide, and said, "We took away his voice because no one could hear you scream. And wait till he gets his in hell." He went to hell, and I know he did, because I'm not the first little child he hurt. I'm 100% sure of that. Child molesters don't just hurt one child. Anyway, yeah, a little angry about that one, right? But then I look at it, and I was angry. I was like, I get it. I get it. And to me, it was like, you took away his voice because no one could hear me scream. And that was a very powerful statement. But it also, at that moment, I realized that if you do bad things can happen to you, right? But that doesn't mean I lived a perfect life after that, because I didn't. I was younger then. It was 35 years ago, you know what I mean? And, yeah. That was a powerful moment. And there is a hell, trust me. And some of us are living in hell every day, but we're alive. That's why I call it the Walking Dead. And so if you feel like you're a walking dead, right? Like you walk around and you're feeling shitty. I tell you all these stories so you can understand how you can heal from no matter what happens to you, and trust in the universe and trust in spirit. Even if you're struggling, you got to keep going. That if you can get over those hard obstacles and face your truth and realize you're not perfect, you probably hurt some people too, like I have, but you have to forgive yourself and others. And forgiveness simply means that the emotion of the trauma of the emotion that how did I word it, Spirit? I'm lost now because I got stuck in the past for a minute. You no longer feel the emotion of the trauma that happened to you. Do you know what I mean? That's forgiveness. Like when I talk about my child molester, it does make me a little angry, because I get mad at all child molesters. Like, how can you do that to children? How could he do that to me? I was already in a fucked up place, right? I was already a foster child. Clearly, nobody wanted me. And why would you do that to a little girl looking for love? Crazy shit, right? People are crazy. And this is a hard place to live. If you are surviving planet Earth, fucking hoodoos. And many people cannot. Many people take their lives because they've been abused, because they have been hurt, because this world is brutal sometimes. But this world, as Spirit teaches us, is also beautiful. You just have to walk the path of beauty. And you have to be okay, you guys, with getting rid of people in your life that do not suit you or walk on your path. And you have to be okay with understanding and accepting the process of your family life. You're not going to change people. You can only change yourself. Remember that. You cannot change people. You can only change yourself. And for me, I can only speak for myself, but I was always trying to change the people outside of me so they would love me, so they would see how valuable I am. And all that did, you guys, was attract a lot of unhealthy people. So you have to stay guarded. You have to go, you know what, this person isn't for me, and it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Because you're growing and changing. You want a healthy life. You want to be happy. You want to survive the trauma. You want to get over the trauma so you don't have that dark cloaked figure inside of you anymore, controlling your life. I hope all this made sense. I mean, I just got up this morning and after my last night's session with my medicine woman and just waking up and seeing that energy and having my spirit guide there. And I know, you know what, I know people don't understand, a lot of people, well actually people who don't understand spirit guide stuff won't even watch this video because they're not going to be attracted to it. But the universe is real, spirit guides, they exist, and we're at a valuable time right now, and I'm not perfect and neither are you, but all we can do is keep growing. And I want to encourage people through my journey and not to not to brag. And Spirit says, go ahead and brag. She just told me that. She goes, Faye, don't doubt yourself. Just brag about it. Because you did good work. I worked hard to get here, you guys. To have these epiphanies of my life. To realize that what happened to me wasn't my fault. And it took me so long because so many people told me it was. I remember when I reported being molested. I mean, I broke down at school one day, and my 5th grade teacher and my social worker, who I now look back as an adult and think she must have been part of a sex ring or something, right? I swear, because she told me, did I do, a 9-year-old girl, she says, did you do something to seduce him? What? And that was like, you're blaming me for it. I had a fucked up childhood, you guys. It was awful. I was treated like garbage so much. And I know some of you have been there. I know it. And it's fucked, right? But Spirit saved my life, and Spirit can save your life. You know what? You just gotta do the work. And not be afraid of the success that comes with it. And not be afraid of showing your power to people. I'm not afraid of that anymore. I'm not going to dim my light. If my light is too bright for you, we're just not meant to be. We're not on the same vibe. It's okay. I don't care. Right? I send you off with love. But right now, you're not going to dim my light. Because I've worked too hard to make it shine. And I want to get some of you there too. If you need help, reach out. I don't have a big channel. I don't have a lot of followers. I'm not a fucking influencer, right? I'm too old for all that shit. Leave it to the young people. They do it great. I just want to help those people who need the help, right? Who are lost souls, who want to be the best they can be, but nobody's told them that they are worth being that. Nobody ever told me that until actually my spirit guides, honestly. Isn't that crazy? And that's okay. That's my new thing right now, you guys, is I joke with my friends. I go, everything's okay. It's all right. You know? And then I got disappointed because when I started my YouTube channel, I had all these visions that I was going to have these guest speakers and all these things, and we were going to create a community, and everyone just kind of fizzled out, and I never heard from them again. It was so bizarre. And I was like, wow, that's crazy, you know? And I thought they were my friends, and I thought we were building community, and I'm like, you know what? It's okay. It's all right. Just not meant to be. And now Spirit says they're just not part of the tribe, Faye. And you gotta find the tribe. And the tribe will find you now that you're ready for it. See, I guess I just wasn't ready because I have insecurity around being on camera. I don't really like it. I'll be honest. I prefer doing radio podcasts. And but now Spirit says you got to get out of that attitude. You just got to go do it. And now by doing that and being in this light, and I got to face my self-saboteur, and all this stuff happened to me this week because of the moon, whatever you want to call it, and all the work I've done, I'm like ready. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to delete some of the old videos because that wasn't what I really want to represent, and I'm just going to get to work. And I've got some guests coming up. I've got Anthony Daniels, who is a artist out of Louisiana. He's a DJ, musician. I got all kinds of people coming on. I just needed this time, I guess, to finish my work on myself and get to the next level. And yesterday when I saw that spirit at the end of my bed, and it was me and I got to connect with my other spirit guide, Aliana, I was like, okay, I get it now. We are healing. We are healing. Confidence in your magic. Magician sword makes happy, happy. Magician sword. It looks like Happy got a hold of a tuna can. Happy. Anyway, Magician's sword. Confidence in your magic. Don't you love it? Don't you love it? Confidence in your magic. Let's just ride that vibe. I want you all today to just be confident. You know, a lot of us are taught not to be confident, especially women in my generation. If we use our voice, we're like too loud. We're just too, you know, I get that all the time, right? People don't like it that we use our voice. And I'm going to tell you, I don't even care about that anymore because it's so ridiculous. Be you. Have confidence in your magic. The right people will find you, right? I was talking to my friend Astrid about all of this yesterday. I meet up with Astrid and we just have these intense conversations and then we go our way, right? It's a great relationship. And I just adore her energy. She's so beautiful and just loving. And I told her about my experience and she, you know, she's one of those people you can have that conversation with and it just flows. And I need that in my life, you know, because I can't. There's so many people I can't have these conversations with because they're like, ooh, Faye might be doing drugs or whatever. But it's not true. This is real stuff, real energy. Sober 5 years. So yeah, it's not drugs. It's that when you heal your energy and you walk on a higher level of energy, your energies that come to you are on a higher level of being. Energy is quite powerful. So that being said, I got to wrap this up. I hope all this made sense. I know I ramble. That's who I am. You'll get used to it if you watch my videos. But my intention is to share my story so you can understand where I came from, so you can see the healing process and how it works and how powerful it can be. And I'm going to be honest with you. I walked around, I'm going to keep saying it, for years thinking I was healed, doing spiritual retreats, doing soul retrievals, all this stuff, right? But it was all just Band-Aid. Band-Aid, Band-Aid, Band-Aid. And every time the Band-Aid got ripped off, there was the same goddamn pattern in my life. And I was like, why? And finally, it just hit me one day, and I discovered a man who changed my life and taught me about the science of the subconscious and the cellular network in my body and how to heal the trauma. And I did what he said, and it worked for me. And I'm still in the process of it. I'm not 100%, perfection, but nobody is, not even him. And we've got to keep growing, and that's the point. But if we keep growing and elevating, then we see our lives elevating too. You guys, I went from being homeless to miserable and not having enough money to creating a home, money, and joy within myself again. Okay? I was miserable. You've got to understand. I wish I could tell you that. I don't wish I could have you feel it, because I don't want anyone to feel that way, even though I know people do. But I wish I could show you how miserable I was. But the best way I can describe it is a 9-foot tall being with a black cloak and a gray face, just looking down to the ground with no hope and just pure despair. And that's the being I saw inside of myself exit my body at 3:36 a.m. yesterday morning at the foot of my bed, and I had to say goodbye to that. And it was, whew. And do you know why? Because I realized my worth. I no longer try to make everyone approve of me. If you don't, you don't. It's okay. It's okay. It's alright. Confidence in our magic this week. Alright, I gotta go because I actually do have to get to my other job, my paycheck job, and I love you all. Let's have confidence in our magic this week. Thank you for listening. If you want to be a guest or you have a story to share and you want to talk about your road to recovery on whatever it is, then please email me, readingswithfaye@gmail. Hit the like and subscribe button. Follow me on Instagram, Tattooed Psychic on Instagram. And love y'all. Have a beautiful day. Have confidence in your magic. And remember, no matter what you're going through, you can heal. I promise you, you can. Love ya.